The last thing I saw were flames raging everywhere. I was wheezing my last breaths. I know I wasn't only in my casket, but I was wearing it. I looked and saw my ever spirit, those golden eyes, that nightmarish smile, too many painful memories. Well, then I had no idea I was given 2 more chances in life. I nodded at the golden figure, ready to head to my afterlife, whatever it may be. On empty nights, I always felt so alone. Sure, I'm part of this mini kiddie fun center. Bumper boats, go-kart races, putt-putt golf, indoor ball pits, greasy foods. That's all I hear and see every day. I only have 3 friends with me. If you really want to call them that. 2 or maybe 3 faces look very familiar to me. The one other one I know for sure is a new face. She loves to dance. She could feel the sound waves and rhymes. It will be useful to her since all she sees is darkness. I was never good with any sort of leadership, but this time I'm the leader. But truly, not what I wanted for a 4th life. Though I didn't expect it to be golden either. They call me baby. And I honestly hate it. At least I could freely use one of my unused talents, singing. While others behind me are singing along or slowly dancing, from mid-mornings to late evenings, then we're on our own. The night had finally begun. A new security guard had took the shift. As I saw him walk into his office, his face looked awfully familiar. He looked very young and almost like he's 14. But I know for sure that's not right. Well, there are some young adults who still look like they should be in high school, but that's not the point though. The only thing that matters is that he looks someone I used to know. The most interesting thing was he looked like he was sad, like he lost someone true and dear to his heart, and that he truly did not want to work here, due to the fact it's connected to the Fazbear Corporation, the wonderland of pain, suffering, and death for all ages. And it wouldn't surprise me if the head gentleman, who was a womanizer by the way the few male animatronics were programmed. Also, I heard the man mumbled, almost like a sob, "Why do they do this to me?" Funny walks to his office. And about the other animatronics that shadow, I mentioned about the blind dancer who never opened her eyes. Then we have what they call Funtime Foxy. Do not let the name fool you. She is actually a lot meaner than the Foxy I used to know, who is, in my experience, wasn't really a bad girl. And Funtime Freddy? Now, after the interesting experience with the Freddy I once knew, I'm somewhat relieved. He's a lot stranger, though. He plays around with this puppet, who I believe once known as Bonnie. Bonnie, you have no idea how much that name makes me cringe. One thing that feels a lot different is the way we operate, move, and how we're programmed. We are exactly more like robots than animatronics. The night of the guard's first and maybe only night, the Funtime friends were having a discussion. "Freddy!" snaps Foxy. "We need to focus about the The weakness of the Nut God. In a second, dearie, says Freddy like a smartass. He must see what my wife thinks. Your wife? Asked Foxy. Do you realize that she's a hand puppet, right? Freddy gasps and covers Bonnie's ears. How dare you! Then he flirts with the Bonnie puppet, trying to comfort it. A little disgusted and disturbed about Funtime Freddy's behavior, him arguing with Funtime Foxy didn't make things any better. So much difference. I looked towards the way of the security office. I was about to head over there. As soon as I took my first step, where are you going? I looked behind me to see the dancer. We are about to soak him in the atmosphere and tension before we make a straight run for it. How she knew that, even though she could not see a single thing, she could feel emotions, movements, and fears of one another. I just stood still, staring at her, basically taking her word. The night went on, and the other animatronics had not a lot of success or effort of getting the guard for whatever reason. It must be a Fazbear thing. I never really truly understood why they were always after the night guard. I've been hearing about children being killed and their souls haunt them, but judging by the behavior of the ones I used to know, that could not be right. Then again, why am I? I'm a young woman, yes, not a child. So many questions, so little answers. My patience was running out. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. Then the chime rang. But there really wasn't any rule that we weren't allowed to that 1 hour. So I decided to break it if it really was one. The night guard started to walk out. I ran and took him by the arm. He stopped to look at me. I was looking back at him with these wide eyes. He began to shake and said, "Let go of me!" I still hold on. "What do you want from me?" I took a slight pause, then whispers, "I know you." Confused and terrified, he said, No, you don't! That's impossible!" "Mikey," I whispered. The guard got more terrified and asked, How do you know my name?" Even though it was just my soul's, I had these emotions and feelings coming to me. It's been so long, my twin. I wish I could have watched you over more, took more care of you. Mikey paused and stood in place, almost like he's about to cry. "What are you talking about?" he asked. "Mikey," I sighed. "It's me." Mikey shook his head. "No, it can't be." He started to sob as he wrapped his arms around me. "I wish I could have saved you, Molly."